Turn on that light. That's right. All right, everyone. And there's the notification to let you know we are live with another podcast episode. We are on episode 11, and welcome. I'm a little backwards with it on this one. Welcome to Sisters on God. I am the cat's meow
I'm
and
authentic sister.
and boy, what a show that we have for you all today. Now, before we get started, you feeling okay, sissy? You doing all right?
My mind is noisy.
We're gonna have to calm it on down with this one that's getting ready to happen. I'm gonna need your thinking cap on. I'm gonna need your God and your thinking cap on, girl.
Mhm.
Before we get started, I would like to ask anyone who happens to catch our podcast, whether it be live or you catch the recording on YouTube, that you would let us know that you viewed the podcast. Just leave us a like so that we just know who's looking. You know, most of the time it only shows you a number unless somebody leaves a comment or a likes. So if you would just like it. We would love it if you shared it. We would love it if you make a comment. We like comments too, you guys. All right. So, with all that being said, boom.
And don't forget to subscribe
And don't forget to subscribe. See, that's
if
why
you haven't
she's the
already.
sissy. I got to point this away. I want to point this away, but I got to point this away. There we go. All right. You ready? This one really could have took an hour because I don't know. Some of this makes me. So when I read this, it made me a little mad. But here we go because we appreciate anyone that writes into us with whatever your situation is. Know that we will read it and we will discuss it and we will bring it to you from the heart, but from God's heart first. Okay. So here we go. Hello, sisters on God. Hello. I have a question for you ladies. This applies to men and women when I say this. Is it wrong to hide money from your husband? Not a boyfriend or boo, but your husband.
Mm.
Told you. You ain't got to the good stuff yet. Hold on. Hold your horses. I have always heard about women saying that you need to put money away for when you need or want to leave. So I pinch money off of his money when I pay the bills. I also put away money from my own income. So this wife is penny pinching off of the money that her husband gives her to pay the bills. And she's probably telling him it's more than it actually is so that she can get that extra money that whatever she's getting off the top. She's now listen, this is my husband is a good man. I love him dearly, but I have watched too many women once the relationship is over with that they have no way to take care of themselves. Like maybe you will need to buy yourself a vehicle or and a place, money to provide for yourself until you get back on your feet. The way it is out here, you just never know with anyone anymore. Everyone's so selfish and consumed with their own thoughts, wishes, and desires. I hope that I never have to use the money for those purposes. There's no guarantees. Know that your answers probably won't change my mind, but out of curiosity, seeing that you two seem to be very respectful and you answer to God in everything you do. So want to see if a woman of God stands on her God.
Okay. Okay.
Just to that last part of that.
You
Why you digging in on us? You don't gotta dig on us. We here for you, man.
know, I know someone who we almost got into an argument over that same topic. Come to think of it.
Really?
Yeah, it was a friend. And it was in reference to someone who had apparently that letter was the situation was um I guess he had helped her go to school and do all this stuff, and he was the non well he was the breadwinner, and so he would supply all the needs for the house. He
Mhm.
would you take care of all the bills and take care of her and whatever the case may be. And then he apparently found out that she was stashing, that's what it was said to
Oh,
do,
she got
stashing
caught.
away money. She was saving money. And I think he had asked, why was she saving? And she said she just want to save something for herself in case, right? And it became an argument to the point of the relationship actually ended because she said that. So now when the person was talking to me about it, which was a male, because this is his frame of mind where, if he's taking care of all the bills and whatever the case may be, why is she got to be stashing and hiding money from him? The thing is, I think he was more mad about that she didn't tell him
That she was sneaking the money
money,
out from
right?
underneath
And then
him.
when he asked, she really didn't have an answer.
I mean,
Why?
what do you say? Well, I'm saving this for a rainy day in case you act up or I
Right.
just don't love you no more and I want to get out of town.
So I asked him because okay, I got daughters. So I asked him what was wrong with that because I obviously I didn't see anything wrong with it.
Okay.
I didn't like the term stashed,
Yeah.
but like she even said in the letter, and we both know this is life. Now, mind you, I've had a marriage before this.
Right.
I was left with minus this, like
I
literally
did it twice.
four kids, and
That's right.
nothing,
That's right. I don't want nothing from
nothing,
you. Mm-mm.
right? No,
Yeah.
it's not because I didn't want. To me, I was naive. That's how I look at that. Because I personally, being a woman's woman, I don't see anything wrong with a woman having something for herself.
I don't see
And
that
if
there's
it,
anything with a woman wanting for herself either. But can't she
and
go get it?
she can,
Yeah.
as well as if she's saving it off, that means you're budgeting well and you're putting some
Right.
aside. Because
Right.
check this out. If you're in a marriage and you're saving, you're in a marriage.
And I think that's
If
why
he
they
keels over,
specify.
you can't walk away and leave that body right there. You got to bury him. What you gonna use?
Right.
Worse if you're with one that doesn't save. Are you
So
gonna sit there and not save too?
no, you have to, but I think that this question has so many different
There can be different
scenarios
areas to
to
it, right?
why you would do such a thing. And see, I feel like the question against us as sisters on God is if you're so godly, are you going to sneak behind your husband's back and someone to say you're stealing it? Um, that
This is
person
a
could
topic
be in an abusive relationship and need to get away, and the only way they can do it is to get some money out from underneath that person, especially if they don't
that
have
happens too.
their
That
own
happens too.
income. Maybe you've got a spouse, which she's referring to a man, but I think this is both genders. Um,
Mm.
that doesn't manage their money good, and so you've got to take some money, to the side to be able to make ends meet, or have a nest egg for you guys for later, because maybe they're
You
not
never know
money
what would
conscious.
happen. I mean, because at the end of the day, do you know how much women
Hmm.
had to walk with nothing? And I'm not talking trifling ass ones. I'm
No.
talking good women.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if you're gonna ask this whole on God, look, man, God gives.
Look what you done did.
He gives this
Yeah,
and discernment.
that's
And if
right.
you're in a situation where you see where this may go, you would be stupid to sit there and not try. At least try
Yes.
to put something aside, because rainy days do
Rainy
exist.
days
They
do
exist.
happen.
I've had it where shit went left, and what if I put aside, mind you, that wasn't even from the pot of the
Right.
house. This
Right.
was me using my mind, you know how we do on the
Yes.
outside to
Yeah.
shovel a little bit, because also when you have children,
That's right.
that stress when you have children to not have
Mhm.
anything is a real thing. It's a
Yes, it is.
insecurity that shit will take you out.
Yeah. Yes, it will.
I should know. It
She
will
said,
take
I
you
should
out.
know.
Because every time you think, God, if your children cry for this and there is nothing, what do you do?
What do you do?
You know
You're
what I
going to
mean?
do
What
whatever
do
you
you
have to
do?
do. Yeah.
You
Yes.
know? So I would advise young people, women or men, it doesn't even matter. Try it to put something that's, I mean, you know that shit is, you be trying and then next thing you know, your tire is flat. You know how that goes. That just wiped out all that. You got a little extra, and then next thing you know,
That
somebody done
always
broke
happened to
something.
me when I was raising my kids.
Remember with the
Every time I would
remember every
have
time
a
you thought you
nice
had it,
little
you were
chunk of
good.
money.
When you think you were good, you're not good no more, because something is there to take it. So to
Yeah.
be honest with you, I don't look at it unless you're just a malicious, nasty woman
See, now that's
who is
what
a.
I'm thinking.
And I
Yes.
want to tell you something. Most women that do that ain't in the relationship with this man.
They was
Them the
always about
outside
the
girls
money
that
in
know
the
how to
first
do that.
place.
The mate is they the one that know how to do that well, because they
Yes.
already know they don't own him,
Yep.
so they're gonna take what they can get.
Yep.
Them the
Yep.
ones that normally do
And I
it.
think
You
that's
cannot
where the
ask a woman.
separation is. There's
There you
there's one
go.
that's doing it maliciously, and there's one
There you
that's
go.
doing
One
it
that
with
doing it with you, doing it
intention.
with common sense.
Yep.
Because rainy days are, especially now, honey, they ain't just rain. Thunderstorms days is
Tornadoes.
up there. Hurricane days.
That's
Like
right.
this,
That's
these
right.
not no
That ain't no
major
joke
rain.
out here now.
It ain't no minor rainy day. These are major stuff, you know?
They say what I'm used to when I was raising my kids, it was not
Yeah.
this hard. It was
And when
not
you
this
got
hard.
nothing put aside, and
Yep.
next thing you know, God forbid somebody kick the button and here we are on here, go fund me. Like,
Yep.
because there's nothing. You know, and
That's
who wants that position? That ain't it don't sound comfortable to me, you
right.
know? So to me, like when I'm, put us it's defined. So I would advise women, and especially young women, I don't think you, especially if you're in a committed relationship, you're not robbing anybody. It's security.
Security.
It's
There's a
security
difference that we're talking
between
about
that, right?
here.
So now
There,
the malicious stuff that you're
yeah.
doing, come on. If
You
this
just
man is a
being
fool to sit
greedy.
there, sorry, if this man or woman is a fool to sit there and not see that this is not a relationship building up, you know. I mean, unless you ain't paying attention, you
Right.
know the difference between the two.
You should. But then,
And that's what I
there
have.
are good actors out here,
Well, that is true. It's true.
So
It's true.
even the best of us can get fooled,
But like anything else, sissy, some gonna win, some gonna lose.
That's
It's
true.
just a matter of the gamble,
That's
and it's
right.
just again, this is where knowing God. and
I was
knowing
just gonna say
oneself,
that.
and knowing oneself,
That's right.
you can see the discernment. You'll see more than you'll see, and you'll know where to be making these calls, because you know if a person has a weakness and you kind of have a strength, you'd be a fool to still be tapping into that person's weakness too.
Right.
The two weak people, what are we doing here? It's gonna fall apart.
I just got finished saying that the scripture says a house against each other, against itself shall fall.
Yeah,
You know,
yes,
so
they.
you're betting against the house. You're betting against your own livelihood and the reason and the purpose for you being with the person that you're with. Um, I'm all for honesty and putting everything on the table. I don't like lies. I don't like manipulation. I don't like games. I think
Mm-hmm,
that especially at our age, we don't got to play these type of
mm-hmm.
games. Now, yes, if I'm with somebody and I know that they don't manage money well, then I'm definitely going to step in and I'm going
Because
to
there you
I
go.
you know what? I do that now.
But you have to, and that this is the part
And
where I
that's
said
just so that I
discernment.
can get through the next
Get
week,
through,
you
get
know?
through, because you can even
And I'm
have.
not being sneaky or
It's
malicious
not
or anything.
sneaky,
I'm just trying to
and that's make it work. Yeah.
make it work.
And
Yes.
sometimes, I mean, sometimes as women, if you get a little hustle or a little something, something, and you're putting stuff aside, half the time you're not saying it because you yourself want to forget that you got this. That's the whole point of saving. If you keep remembering it's there and you
You're
get,
gonna That's
that
right.
means ain't staying there. It ain't
No, it's
staying.
not. No, you have
So
to
I
forget
too
it.
have to forget that I'm doing it so that it stays. Because the minute something goes sour, or I just see something shiny, 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 I'm gonna run
Or
to
you're
go get
penny
it.
pinching just a little bit more than usual, and you're like,
Yeah, I
oh,
know we
I
just
got
gonna
that
live
little.
it large because we got extra. No, that's the see,
No,
that's the
that's
key to
not what it's
not
for.
that I can't say it that way. I have
Yeah,
to literally
yeah.
forget.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
Or what I do is I continue to think about my children because
Hmm.
they cannot fend for themselves.
That's
As
right.
grown-ups, we can.
Yes.
They can't.
Hmm.
And if God forbid something happens and I can, what kind of mother am I? So that's where I have that problem. And one thing I know, like I know how it feels right now. When you don't got that little extra nowhere, oh my God.
Yep.
When I tell you not my mind is noisy, your mind is noise. Well, mine. I don't know about nobody else.
Mine is too. I was just telling my daughter that today. Like, you have no idea the thoughts that go through my mind just in a day's time of, oh my God, how am I going to get this
Suppose
done?
I
Oh
go
my
right.
God, how
Suppose
am I
I
going
go
to
to
do
this.
that?
Yeah.
Huh?
Sorry, sweetie.
No,
Suppose
you're
I go to the store and there is no extra money. Do you know?
yes, and
You,
you
you
can't
remember them
get
days,
the needs, and you're
girl? You remember
struggling.
them
Now you
days
got to
when?
figure out which one is more important.
There you go.
Yeah,
Remember when we were struggling, right? And you buy the grocery, and remember them days when you used to have to put back because what she said was too much for what you got on that counter,
right.
and how embarrassing that is.
It
And that's
was
the day,
embarrassing.
child. Especially when them people who don't know distance or space be all up
Yeah,
on
yeah.
you.
But no social distancing was going on back
So
then.
now they're all up in your business. So now you look like you're cute because God done blessed me. And you can't pay for the little. Yeah, no, I can't. No,
No,
I
I
can't.
cannot.
And now we back almost to them days. I tell you,
For
this
real.
$100 buy two bags.
I saw your video where you had done the buy one get BOGO deal when
Uh-huh.
there was $200 and your basket was full.
Yeah.
And I remembered looking at that basket and saying, wow, I remember about 15 years ago, that basket full of groceries would have only been $100.
Child, tell me about it.
I know.
And I can shop. I shop because if the
Yes, you
mess ain't on sale, it ain't in my cart. I can tell you that.
see,
It
see
ain't in there.
when you talk about pinching money off of anyone's salary, this is
To
what
put
we're talking about.
That's
this is
what we're
this is
talking
how
about.
we do it.
Pinch
We're
it.
not
There you go. I don't go in no
pinching
man's
it so
pocket.
that we can have food to eat, something to drink,
Yeah,
basic
for
necessities
that
in the
reason,
house,
sissy. Yep.
gas.
So we can at least not look the worst. You know what I mean? And
I
that's a
have
good woman.
anxiety attacks every night because I struggle with how am I going to get from one day to the next? How am I going to get a meal? And I'm penny pinching off of my stuff, you know,
So to
to
the
whoever
lady that
this
wrote the
person is.
letter, look, if you're not doing this maliciously, you continue doing what you're doing. Because
Yes,
at the end of the day, whether the other party is there or not there, it is better to be able to at least flow, child, and sink.
that's right.
At least flow. And look,
That's right.
I am a woman's woman, and especially women with children, because
Hmm.
9 out of 10 times we are left with the children.
Yep.
And that's why me and my friend argued because he's like, "Oh well, she taking it, man." So I even said to him, "So what you gonna teach your daughters? Just put it all out there? Is that what you do?" Nah. Well,
If we
yeah,
are a helpmate, if that is what we were created for, was to be a helpmate,
not
then
child. Okay. We need to go in the Bible because some stuff is in there that will hurt people's
I
feelings.
mean, you know what?
It's
They
in
put it
there.
in there. They was like
It's in
sisters
there.
on God. Yes, we are. If you
Yeah.
didn't know that, now you do.
So yeah, no, don't I can't tell no woman to do that. And especially when you're a good woman, you want at the end of the day, even when you and your partner is stepping out, you don't feel ashamed. That's one of the reasons why I say it. I would like that when we going out, we don't just look like we got it. We actually have something.
Right. Yes.
Because
I
I
am a
don't like all
representation
that
of
don't
you. It is my
chat.
duty to make sure that I
That we
shine on
good.
your arm.
Yeah. There you go. So so the whole stealing and pinching, mm, I would erase those words because again, I feel like those words are for outside. They do
It
that.
is. It
Because
is.
if God
That's
forbid any
that's
one of y'all
worldly
gets
terminology being misconstrued with
mhm.
us.
If
That's all
something
that
goes
was.
wrong with you
Yes.
or me in this household, she don't care.
Yep.
He don't care. And guess who got it to take care of me or you?
That's right.
So why we worried about all that? And at the end of the day, if we're not living right, where you one of us worrying about that because we ain't right, yo, we need to fix that because that's really where the problem is. Is now
See,
who taking what and who's doing what. At that point, that
now
has
that was
nothing to do
my
with it.
thought too. We
Because
we
at
need
that
to
point, that's the only way.
reevaluate some things.
There you go. At that point, that's the only way you're gonna feel some type of way about me is because you already your mind something is not right somewhere else. How about
Yep.
that? So now you worried about what I'm gonna take
Yep.
when all I was doing was preparing for me and you. Because remember, we're not getting young, we getting old.
Exactly.
You
And
think
how
we're gonna
many
be too
times
long?
you want to keep going around the same old mulberry bush over and over and over again? You know, you ain't tired yet? That is my favorite thing to say.
Child,
You ain't tired yet? Not
I could
yet.
tell you, knowing who I am, whenever I could move something somewhere and just try to forget it, I like that. Because at the end of the day, I know who I'm doing it. I'm doing it for whoever is in this household. And
That's right.
whoever think it's something else, well, then good for you. But
Hey,
this is how I teach my daughters. My daughter, well, the other one, I'm teaching her
yes,
too. Take care of you.
that's
Because at
right.
the end of the day, it's always the man in the mirror at the end of the day.
Yep.
And if you find somebody that y'all are together, it's two individual that's coming together,
Coming together as one. That's right.
you know? So,
And
and
one
if
is
each
not
other
completing
take
the
care of
other.
each
Both should
other,
be complete already.
and if each other take care of each other, you balance it out a little bit better, you know?
I heard a
And
pastor a long time ago.
life throws curveball where you have men that do it to women too. Give her the bare minimum for the house
Yep,
when
that's
you
true.
know you could have given more,
Yep.
or you're not taking the time to have more.
You
And,
making
and
her
then and but then
suffer.
you're expecting a whole lot from the little.
Yep.
How does that work too? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? How does it
Yeah.
work? You can't.
I don't know. If you
It's
ain't got
unbalanced,
God in it,
child. So again, it all depends on the heart of each person. I don't personally, the wrong person to ask us. Nothing is wrong with that because if it's not maliciously being done, ain't nothing wrong with it. And even then, ain't nothing wrong with it. Because you
yes.
still got to look out for you because you just never know.
Yep. Yep.
So
I
that's
don't
my
know
answer.
what this person, well, she said that probably our answer wouldn't change her mind
Of
about
course.
what she's doing. Um,
And sometimes some women have had, like I told you before, I was married before.
right.
I was left with nothing
Same.
but my 4 kids.
Yep. That's what
I
I
was
walked away
almost
with.
thrown out on the street,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
picture if because I had a friend that used to tell me to put aside, but I always thought the same way people are telling her. It's wrong. Yeah. Look what happened to me.
Well, now you know what I did the same thing. I was with a very abusive husband. My first husband was very abusive, and that's when I learned how to start becoming sneaky and manipulating, to sneak money and stuff whenever I and unfortunately I kept going back to him thinking that he would change.
Good.
Um, that's just young. Two little girls by him, I don't know
It's the
nothing
children.
else.
It's the children we
Yes,
do it for.
yeah, yeah. And so
And
I
being
kept
afraid.
going back, and then I would have to find a way to make my big escape, and so I was finding cunning ways to do things that was out of my character that I didn't feel
Mhm.
good about even back then, and
But it became
but it was
survival.
the situation that
Hmm.
put me at that junction
Hmm.
because he was supposed to take care of me. He was supposed to take care of his daughters. He was supposed to treat me as his equal and not like I was less than him.
Hmm.
Um, he was good with the money. He was real good with the money. He always brought his check home to me. So I always had full control of the money. So that made it a little easier for me to be able to make my escape, you know. But I didn't enjoy that. That didn't feel good to me. Nothing about that felt good.
See, that's one of the character of a good woman. We don't feel good when we have to. And even though it's survival mode,
Yeah,
believe me, it's not like it's a pleasure. No, it's never.
it's not.
Like, cause I know I used to think about it. I used to think about, cause I know stuff was getting real. I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
And it would cross my mind. I just never had the balls to do it. I think I must have just did it one time. And oh my God, I almost died. Like, I literally felt like I robbed the federal bank. That girl, girl, all I hid was $40. And I thought
Shut
that the
up.
world was gonna end
Shut
for
up.
40.
I mean, but back then $40 was a lot of money.
Had a special needs son. I know
Yeah,
it wasn't,
right.
but I felt, and it was to pay the rent. That's the point, though. It wasn't
So
like,
so
oh,
you
I
was
went
paying
shopping,
attention to keep the roof over your head.
girl. I
Exactly.
don't, I don't buy nothing
Exactly.
from money that comes in this house,
Yes.
or So it's a security that you just want as a woman. It's the
Mhm.
security. God forbid he loses his job. What
Mhm.
happens?
Mhm. Mhm.
Can I be able to at least buy a underwear for myself?
Right. Right. Yep.
And so I what every $2 I have, I supposed to say, oh, I got $2. Oh, I got that's a stupid thing to do. What is that? Come on. If that's what you're doing, you might as well don't do it. The bottom line is security.
It is security.
And
I
it's security for
think
everybody.
But you know what? I think too that this subject is hitting the way that it is because there are a lot of manipulative females out
Yes.
here that are money hungry, and that's their whole goal is to get you, lock you in, and then create a bad situation to where that they can just take what they can from you and bounce on out, or stay with you in a relationship because you financially are there for
Provide
them.
for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
I've
know
never been
something?
that woman, and I never will be that woman.
I wasn't designed for all that.
No,
That's a lot. I can't.
no.
My brain won't allow. That's
Mm-mm,
extracurricular.
mm-mm,
I wouldn't know
mm-mm.
how to do it even if I
The
tried.
misery,
My
money
heart is too
doesn't make you
kind too,
happy, first of all.
man. And my heart is just way too kind for all that.
Yes.
I literally. That's why I think I'm miserable when I am miserable, and unhappy, and stressed and anxiety, all them things. When there's no money because of my children.
Yep.
If they were older, I'd probably be okay. But
A
they're
little bit
young.
more okay than you are, yes.
Yeah, but they're young. And
Yeah.
then you also think about your spouse or whomever working hard,
Mhm,
and you
mhm.
can't put us. If there's nothing to put aside, it just feels helpless.
Yeah.
It's just for me. It's just not a good spot for me.
I
It's
don't
not
think it
good.
is.
And
I
whomever
can't
thinks
lay
that
my
way, like,
head
oh,
down at
oh,
night
you
knowing
robbing.
that I'm manipulating a person. If I'm doing that, I'm doing that because I'm doing it as a whole for us.
There
Um,
you go.
you
Because at the
know,
end of the day, you got men that's taking from their home and taking care of
yes,
another home
yes,
and
yes. And
another
those are the
woman,
different
and probably got kids
situations.
out there too.
That's right. That's because they got more
So,
than one
so,
family.
so now how you figure that then? So at the
Hmm.
end of the day, where is it fair? It's where? At the
Yep.
end of the day, how do you one over the other?
Yeah.
You should know your house.
Yep.
You know your house. You know your situation.
That's
Act
right.
accordingly.
That's right. There you go. Based off of your
Just
house
that
and
simple.
the mate that you chose.
And
Um,
experiences you've had before. Because if you've been burnt
exactly.
before, it's the
Exactly.
once bitten, twice
Yep.
shy.
That's right.
Don't be a fool
And
the next time.
yep. I don't think that that was a fair question that was directed at us per se, to kind of challenge our love for God and our
Yeah,
walk with
yeah.
God.
To put
Um,
God in it, that's, yeah, no. Because
I
at the
you
end of the
know
day, the thing is,
I expect that we'll get this along the way, though.
yeah,
That because we are sisters on
I
God, I
get it.
do.
Okay, so here the part that God is stands on. He made us
He
with
made us.
good sense, with
Yes,
good
he did.
sense. When we were younger, it was one thing. We're older.
Hmm.
We're not looking a way in. We're looking a way out. We ain't here forever. So even if I'm banking on you, I mean, how long I got before I finish that? Come on.
Right.
But
Yes.
when young, it's the whole different story. This age child, no, we just whatever nursing home gonna take us with this little, that's what we know.
That's
Or just
right.
to keep this the roof over your head, you know?
Yeah.
Like seriously. You can't go in them nursing home without money.
No, you
And we
can't. They're
already
gonna kick you
see,
right back out, ain't they?
child, if you ain't listening to the news, Medicaid this, Medicare this, like come on now.
Yep, yep. You got to be a lot wiser with your money for
With
sure.
your
And if
money.
you're in a household where you're struggling with that, and that's what this letter was about, then
You got some fixing to do. I
thank you.
mean, at the end of the day, it's what it is, though. I'm a hustler. I've always been a hustler. But the thing is, after a while, okay, after a while, as you're aging, your hustle slows down, you know?
Yes, it does.
I mean, how
Somebody
much
tell me that one.
eyesight ain't working so good that
I
knees
did
don't
not get the
cooperate?
memo on that.
I mean, after a while, your hustle is getting weak. you know? So you gotta
Yeah.
just start putting aside something,
Yeah.
I ain't
Yeah.
got nothing no more. I've used what I got, but and that's and see when I can, I go in depression because I feel helpless.
Yeah, definitely. You do feel helpless. That's for sure.
Because you just keep seeing things rise and it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I don't spend on me. I don't spend on me.
No.
Everything is really for my kids. It's a good thing I'm very creative. I do my own hair. I do it just every now and then you just want a little bit of something. I go get my toes done, just to make it
Just
not
to
look
feel
that
like you're a
bad.
woman every once in a while.
Look, y'all, the last time she paid for them toes, I had to make this just last.
You didn't have to do that.
My girl paid for it. I mean, every time this gel look like you want to peel, I'm about to put some glue. Stay on it. You gotta last.
You can hold on a little while longer. Okay, you
This
guys.
what we do. This what we do.
This is what we do.
Just to free
She
the
usually
mind.
has me laughing so much that I'm gagging and can't
Because
breathe.
sometimes you don't laugh, you about to cry, child. It's this is how life's set up. So
You
I
know,
would
I went. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I would encourage any female or male wherever you can put what you put, just put it. It's always a rainy day. Yeah, just
There's nothing wrong
and
with
you don't
putting
have
on
to feel bad about doing it. Because at the end of the day, it's either gonna serve you right, serve your children right, or your man right. It's gonna
That's
serve
right.
somebody right.
That's right. If you're doing it in the goodness of your heart, and you know that the reason why you're doing it is a sound reason for it,
Mhm.
and now you got to question the people's reasons for what they think is sound and not.
Yeah,
I'll just stick with God. How about
yeah.
that?
You
I'll just
know,
stick
you
with
know
my heart tells me what is right and what is wrong,
what's
and I
wrong.
move off of that. I'll
That
continue to
vibration.
do
Yep.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, what the
Mm-hmm.
next person does, that's not my
There
problem.
you
That's not
go.
my choice.
Yeah,
Decision. That's all you. I can only stand before God
for
for
myself.
what I've
Mm,
done,
yeah,
and I want
and
to
to
make
be
sure I
honest
hear
with
some
you,
good job, my faithful servant. Not
yeah,
why did you do that?
yeah, the thought of that because that at the time, like when I said my friend, just like this letter, and he got mad at me because he was just looking at it on
One
a man's
perspective.
perspective because you
Mhm.
felt like she's taking something from you.
But
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And you know
yes.
how they are with the ego thing. It's all
Hmm.
ego, you know. Now you should know the thing where it would be where you'd be mad about it is if the type of person she is, you don't trust her. See now that's
Right.
where problem is.
That
And if
that
you
that's
don't
where
trust
their
her,
problem is. Yes, that's
why are
exactly
you
what
with
their
her
problem.
first to begin with? You
Mhm,
don't trust her.
mhm. Yep,
Because if you did, you shouldn't feel so bent out of shape. The fact that she's saving something, it wouldn't have bothered you so bad. Simply
yep,
means that sells itself too. This is the reason why
yep.
she's saving something
Yes,
ain't right.
yep.
And she's making sure if you do A, girl, I'm about to do B.
I'm gonna do my part.
and
There's a story of the talents in the scripture where the
yes.
king gave one person what
Mm-hmm.
3 talents,
Mm-hmm.
another one 5, and another one
To
10. And
see
when
how they make use of that.
he
Mm-hmm.
asked, what did they do with those talents?
Mm-hmm.
One with the 3 literally just hid it so that when
Mm-hmm.
the master came back, he would still have
Mm-hmm.
his money. The other 2 invested it. They took from the one that had the 3 and he gave to them because they were wise enough to make his money multiply because they
Mm-hmm.
knew that he wasn't good with money.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Mm-hmm.
the same thing.
Scenario. Yep.
Same scenario. You
And
want
if
to
you
have a mate that you
mhm.
know is gonna
Hmm.
take your money and help you to make that sucker stretch or
There you
flip it.
go. And that's the mate I am, child. So when if
Yeah,
I
you are.
say it, don't go questioning why. Oh, you didn't let me know. It's benefiting you. Just don't worry about that.
That's right. Let me do what I do.
So, sometimes we don't do things right, but we get it done.
We get it done. That's all that
I'm gonna
matters.
explain that. Like I don't want to explain how I did this. Just
Right.
let me
I
do
did
this.
it.
Because at the end of the day, believe me, it's for me and you. We could both go sit on the beach and drink
That's
this.
right.
Like
That's right.
seriously, that's who
Yes.
I am.
Yep.
And if you don't trust me, child, we not together. That's the thing.
That you ain't got the
You don't
you
need.
ain't got
You
the
ain't got. Don't worry
foundation to
about me.
stand on with the relationship if you ain't got no trust, no
No.
communication. You done
There you
anyway.
go. What good is that?
None.
So again, if that's their problem, if that's the problem within that relationship, y'all need to take care of that first, because that's
Yeah,
what's gonna cause the problem for the
I
thought
agree.
process of what
Yep,
y'all are thinking.
I agree.
This sneak and all this. It's the thought process.
Mhm.
It's just the words that make it look bad, you
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
So you don't even have nothing to do with outside people. Y'all are in there together.
Yep. Yep. It's y'all against the world.
It's one. And
And
if
it's
she
bad
stays
when y'all are against each other and the world. How that work?
uh, and some, in some relationships, some people, the focus be on the wrong thing. Like, is that where your focus actually is?
That's
If
because
if
they go by what the world says to
the
do.
world, there you go. Because
Yeah.
if you keep putting money in the house, all the bills are paid, right? And say, for instance, when you come home, the kids don't have nothing to eat. There's never anything to eat. The light is always off. I understand that. Like, wait a minute, didn't I give you the money to pay the light bill? You know what I mean? That I understand.
Right, right.
I understand that. Then now you got to say, wait a minute. Now you feel like, yeah, see, that scenario is way different.
Yeah.
But if everything is always good, and somewhere down the line you done figured out, shoot, you need to give her a trophy too. She done kept everything together, plus put some stuff aside. Do you know how hard that is? I
Yeah.
know, because I've saved some money before.
I know. I know.
That means you denied
And
a
it
lot of
takes,
things.
I think that's why when men started switching roles and they started being the ones to not go to work and stay at home, that they finally started realizing that being the housewife, the one that
How
runs the
rough, hard,
household and the kids and the
girl.
husband and the pets and the da, we are awesome
That's
at
a
home.
whole different
That's
topic,
a
honey.
whole different ball game right there.
Because you just okay, so you go and you the one that work. And okay, I'm just stay at home mom. Do you know what it is to be a stay at home mom? Especially
It's
one like
no
me,
it's a isolated lifestyle is what it is.
child, where you don't have to worry about the bills being paid. I worry about that. Now,
Mhm.
if you're doing everything and you got you a princess, then that's different. Ain't nothing
What is
wrong with
that?
that because if
What's
you
a
can manage,
princess?
I mean, that's the title, huh? Girl, I don't know it, but it's the
I don't
title.
know it either.
Maybe one day I'll figure out how that worked, but it ain't now.
Where's my crown? Gosh.
And if you the one that um do everything,
Yeah.
right? I understand that. Where if you feel some type of way, if something is not going right, that's different.
Mhm.
Because you're doing everything. So what is the other person, they just putting stashing this and doing all this. Even then it's still not a problem. But hey.
Right. Yep.
Some
Well,
people are just controllers and they like to do everything. So at the end
yeah,
of the
and
day,
I
it's
think
what
that
it
a
is.
lot of that what's going on with this has some of that to do with it too. It looks like there's some control issues. It looks like there's some distrust
Yeah,
issues.
uh-huh.
Uh
Something is wrong.
something's wrong more
And
than definitely.
you're not wrong about that control. Because some man, if you can't nitpick every, it's almost you need to have an itinerary for
Yes.
everything you do. And then
Yeah.
what
And
kind of
there
woman
have
are
been women
you?
that had to have a breakdown sheet and accountability of every dime they spend in the household because they got a frugal man.
I am not that woman.
I
No. I've been so strong for so long. I don't know how to do that. I make it. I know how to make it work and make it stand. Don't
Yeah.
ask me to come keep telling you because the more I do, it makes us. After a while, it gets annoying. To be
Yes.
honest, just
Yep.
let me do what I do. That's about it.
Hmm. Yep.
If I'm not doing anything that's hurting you but building you, why are we complaining? Why are we worried? Don't be
What's the
worried.
problem?
I got this. Just let me do me. I know how to do me.
All right, we have gone 15 minutes past our time, but I already knew that was going to happen with this one.
Yeah,
I knew that we was going to do this one. Um, so we're going to go ahead and end this because I have to go to work.
yeah. I
So
forgot.
we thank you, anonymous person who wrote in, and hey, I don't know if you're going to use anything we said either, but there it is. We've given you our best answers that we have that we would give to our own daughters,
Yeah,
the females in our own family.
yeah.
So we
Both
thank you.
man and woman.
Exactly, because
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it to any woman that's willing to listen. I'm gonna always give you fruits of God,
yeah,
always. So we thank you that you wrote into us, and if you know of someone who could use some soft advertising, tell them to email us at sistersongod.net. We would really like it if you all could like this podcast so that we know that you've watched it, so we know who's watching. And if you could share it and leave us a comment, we like comments. Tell us what you think. Tell us what your thought is on what we
the
discussed
topic was.
topics, Also, if you know somebody that has a situation or an experience that they would like to share with us, please don't hesitate to email us at sistersongod.net. We're here for it. Whatever it is, we can handle it. So,
And
hmm?
one of the things, just a note, in everything that we do, if you do it on God and do it with the good that's in you, it's
It's always
all for the good of everyone.
that's right. What she said. What she said. What she said. One of these days I'm gonna get it right. Well, it was a pleasure being here with you all tonight. This was a great show. I enjoyed it. I don't know if y'all did or not, but I was entertained. Was you entertained? Wait a minute. How does that go? I can't get it. If I just do that, I'll get it right, right? So we'll be back on Wednesday, next Wednesday at 9 p.m. And who knows what we may get. We who knows what the podcast will be. We just kind of wing it as we go along throughout.
Yeah.
See what's
It's
going on.
slow, but it's sure, y'all. It's
It's
slow, but it's sure. And
that's
we are
right.
grateful for these 1 and 2 emails. We
Absolutely.
really are.
Yes. Because we didn't have to get that at all. So whoever it is out there that's watching us, we appreciate you so much. We know that one day we're going to be a household name and we're going to be the sisters on God that everybody talks about. Right here, y'all. Right here.
Bye, y'all.
You all take care. And we'll see you on the next episode. Episode 12 coming next, you all. Take care. We'll see y'all soon.